Is it really possible for a tiny tweak to your morning coffee routine to ignite your metabolism and put your body into full fat-burning mode for the rest of the day?
Check out the link in the video description now and transform your morning coffee into a metabolism-boosting super drink.
Titanic star Frances Fisher has written a personal letter of support for convicted killer Rebecca Grossman, where she described the disgraced socialite as kind, compassionate, and an angel. It is one of more than 35 letters sent to an LA judge by Grossman's friends and family ahead of a sentencing hearing for the former philanthropist who killed 2 young boys in a horror-drunk driving hit-and-run in 2020. Fisher, who played Kate Winslet's mother in the blockbuster 1997 film Titanic, implored the judge to consider leniency for her longtime friend. The two met after Fisher suffered severe burns during a house fire, and the actress sought treatment from Grossman's husband, who is a renowned plastic surgeon at the specialized and famed burned unit in West Hills, California. I was under the care of Dr. Richard Grossman and his son, Dr. Peter Grossman, in 2001 to 2002, Fisher wrote in the letter. When I was healing from my many wounds, an angel walked into my life. That angel was Rebecca Grossman. The actress continued, Rebecca took me under her wing. She was kind and compassionate and was always available if I needed to talk about the emotional repercussions of this accident. It took me a year to recover, and Rebecca was there for me. Grossman, 60, is facing 2 15-year to life sentences for killing brothers Mark, 11, and Jacob, 8, Iskander, plus 4 years for speeding, when she is sentenced by Judge Joseph A. Brandolino at an Los Angeles court on Monday. Grossman was convicted by a jury 4 months ago of double second-degree murder. Prosecutors said Grossman was driving her Mercedes at up to 81 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone when she plowed into the boys at a marked crosswalk in Westlake Village, California. She then failed to stop at the scene of the crime. The defendant's actions from September 29, 2020, through today show a complete lack of remorse and narcissistic superiority that leads to only one conclusion: that she is not deserving of any leniency, they wrote in their sentencing brief. The defendant has continually shown through her actions that she is deserving of maximum punishment. Family and friends, however, have asked the judge to show mercy for Grossman, who they claim has been unfairly portrayed as a careless socialite. During the trial, prosecutors said Grossman had Valium in her system and had consumed at least 2 margaritas before she got behind the wheel and raced with her then-boyfriend, former MLB pitcher Scott Erickson, through a residential neighborhood just before the fatal incident. In a jaw-dropping letter she wrote to the Iskander family, Grossman claimed she panicked and remembers a boy falling from the sky. I told my husband and children that at the same time my airbags deployed, I thought something came down on the top of my car, Grossman told the Iskanders. I even reached out to people at satellite companies like NASA and SpaceX in hopes that maybe there was a video that captured what happened. I did not know what to do. Prosecutors blasted the disgraced mother of 2 and said she refused to take responsibility for the murders and lived a life of privilege and clearly felt that her wealth and notoriety would buy her freedom. But defense attorneys asked the judge to consider the exemplary life Grossman has led and her own hardships as a child growing up in an unstable household. There were innocent victims who suffered from her offense conduct, but as the court had already recognized, this case is unlike the outrageously egregious conduct underlying most implied malice cases, her attorneys wrote in a brief. They continued, and Mrs. Grossman does not come before the court asking to be treated differently from any other defendant. She asks only that she be sentenced in accord with who she has demonstrated herself to be throughout her entire life, including the tragic but unique facts that bring her before the court for sentencing in a case that includes 2 counts of implied malice murder. Other Grossman supporters who wrote to the judge include former Olympic hockey player Eric Lamarck, who signed his letter as ELE. Lamarck was treated by Dr. Peter Grossman after he had to have his feet amputated in 2004. The former Olympiad was lost in the Sierra Mountains during a snowboarding excursion and endured sub-zero temperatures before he was rescued. In the face of this grim reality, I awoke to Pete.